Hey, Daryl here, and this is my daily devotional. Have you ever known a problem that was so overwhelming you didn't have a clue how to begin to fix it? Well, I see a problem and I don't have a clue how to begin to fix it. Let me share. I am certain that one of the gravest mistakes that the church has made in history, especially over the last couple hundred years, is the church not taking care of the widows, the orphans, the poor. And what's happened is a very inefficient system called government has stepped in to attempt to fix this problem. And as you know, such efforts have fallen so short of meeting the needs. We have second and third generation welfare folks now. And the government's idea is, well, if we just give them a little money, if we just give them a little housing, if we just give them a cell phone. But let me just share with you that God expected the church to take care of the widow, the orphan, the poor. For instance, John chapter 12, we see where Jesus is anointed in Bethany. He had just risen Lazarus from the dead, and now they're celebrating the Messiah, Jesus, by lavishly pouring on him this oil that was very expensive. In fact, it says worth a year's wage. Listen as I read. One of the disciples, Judas Iscariot, who was later to betray him, objected. Why wasn't this perfume sold and the money given to the poor? It was worth a year's wage. He did not say this because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. As keeper of the money bag, he used to help himself to what was put in it. Leave her alone. And this is what Jesus said. It was intended that she should save this perfume for the day of my burial. You will always have the poor among you, but you will not always have me. In saying these words, Jesus is saying, you're going to always have the poor, and he insists that you're always going to need to take care of them. Not the government, but the people of God. You see, this goes all the way back to the law. As we are studying in the book of Leviticus, studying portions of the law, listen to what it says in Leviticus chapter 19 at verse 9. When you reap the harvest of the land, do not reap to the very edges of your field or gather the gleanings of your harvest. Do not go over your vineyard a second time or pick up the grapes that have fallen. Leave them for the poor and the alien. I am the Lord your God. Now, there's a couple things I want you to notice. You ready? Don't reap the harvest of your land. Do not reap to the very edges. In other words, those portions out on the sides of the field, leave those. Don't go back over the vineyards a second time. Leave those grapes. But the poor was expected to go along the edges and glean. They were expected to go through the vineyards to pick up the grapes that were left or dropped. In other words, they were going to have to do some work for their sustenance. It wasn't a government handout. And God set up a system that was so perfect that if the people of God could have followed it accurately and to the letter, the alien, the poor folks, yes, those who don't have work per se. Yes, even the widow and the orphan would be cared for by God's plan. But no, we've turned it over to the government, and now it's a mess. It's a problem, and I don't have a clue how to fix it. Pray for God to intervene. God bless you. Good day.